Hey everyone, 88 more days until I'm finally done with student housing living. And of course, I am going to be leaving Bellingham. Oh, I can't wait. I know I'm going to miss some of these hikes around here, but it's time to put the past 10 years behind me for good. Oh, I am just like every day, just counting down. Oh, I must say, when I came up here in 2012, yeah, I was like embarking on going for a bachelor and then my master's degree, chose exercise science. Well, you know, things just didn't pan out. And of course, since 2017 have pretty much been the darkest years of my life. Just not having really any luck with jobs and just kind of, you know, just struggling with a lot of loneliness, depression, anxiety. And yeah, I'm just ready to put all that behind me because it is official. I am on the middle of the onboarding process for my internship that I'm going to be doing starting June 20th. And that is really exciting because, for one, I have been unemployed since January of 2021. So almost a year and a half being unemployed, and since 2017 been underemployed. Oh man, this is a big stepping stone. I mean, it's like, part of me almost can't believe it. I mean, that is just how exciting it is. I mean, it is just like, it's almost like shocking. It's like, is this really happening? It's kind of like that same feeling I had back in 2016 when I was skiing at Stevens Pass and I wrecked at 67 miles an hour. And during that wreck, I'm just like, I can't believe this is happening. Well, it's that same feeling, but more intense, because it's like, and here's the interesting part. I have the option to work remotely, but I'm gonna go in person to the office because I have never had a job before where you work in an office. And it has almost been, I mean, I can't say it's almost, it is a dream of mine to actually have a job where I'm utilizing skills I've practiced on and enhancing in my skills and being able to expand on my skill set, doing stuff that's motivating, stimulating, especially mentally stimulating. I mean, it is a game changer. And I hear once you get one internship, it's easier to get another one, or even for that matter, getting a job. It becomes a lot more easy to get a job. And that was what's really holding me back, was the fact that I was just lacking any internships. And so I'm going in as a business analyst. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So more than likely, it's going to be doing some kind of analysis stuff, probably a lot of stuff with probably charts and diagrams and graphs and stuff I like to do, stuff I really enjoy doing. And of course, probably dealing with, you know, customers. But it's a lot, when I mean like dealing with customers or stakeholders, it's different than like dealing with a customer like in traditional like retail service or like hospitality or even like personal training. I mean, it's different, but I mean, you still got to be cordial, you still got to be, you know, respectful, but it's a whole different scenario. And it's just like, I can't believe I'm finally leaving student housing living. Now, of course, the reason why I'm leaving student housing living is because I pretty much said I've had it living with a bunch of people half my age. I mean, it's like, I'm done, finished, kaput, no más, no muy bueno. And I know, you know, I don't have a place lined up to live otherwise, and I'm pretty much past a point where I can be like, oh, I better just sign another lease. I'm past that point because they have completely filled up. So I am now committed. I pretty much severed what was keeping me in Bellingham, and I finally severed that, and that is the greatest feeling. I had to do it. I just had to do it. And so now, got no place to go in Bellingham. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be as motivated. I'm going to do my hardest and pretty much 100% focus on my internship and see what I can make out of it. And who knows, maybe something really fantastic will come out of it, and then I'll be able to afford my own place. But worst case scenario, as long as I do a good job, you know, and then I continue on with finishing up my software development degree, but I can do that from North Carolina because I'll just be going east and finishing up my studies if, you know, nothing pans out over the summer. But let's, you know, just, you got to be positive. I've got to think positive. Gotta keep the positive vibe going. But yeah, regardless, the whole point is I am done with student housing living. And I know this is an awesome city or an awesome area, but I gotta say, I must say this, that if you're in your upper 40s, single and male, it is not the place for you. I mean, from my experience, it is not the place. And the reason why I say that is a lot of people that come up to Bellingham and the surrounding areas are college students, or there are a lot of people that are able to work remotely, but they've got their families, they're married, they've got kids. So a lot of like younger couples are coming up here. And of course, it's really popular among retirees. But as far as like being an older single male, you will be very, very, very lonely. I mean, I guess I should profoundly. I mean, is there even a word more intense than profoundly or extreme? And so that's why it's just like 88 more days until I'm gone. I'm making like tree and splitting. And I know it's kind of sad in a way that it had to come down to that, but at the same time, what I'm doing is I'm putting the past 10 years behind me for good. I'm just like, and as I come down here, I might as well show you guys. I mean, I'm down here. I can't hog off. I'm going to make the leap of faith. This is one of my favorite leaps. Woo! Yeah! And let me just show you what's down here. This is a long ways down. Ooh, a long ways down. That's about 150 feet or so to the base of the tree down there, probably 170, 180 feet. I thought it was like 300 or 400 feet, but now it's only a couple hundred vertical feet down there. And yeah, just can't believe that, yeah, it is finally, the countdown is real, guys. It is real. It's like, and I figured, why did I choose that number 88? Well, it's one of my favorite numbers because one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future, but that was the speed Marty McFly had to get up to be able to travel in time, was 88 miles per hour. So that's why I figured, why not just like say, this is a perfect day, 88 more days until I finally leave student housing living. And yeah, I just need to go somewhere where it's, more variety. And yeah, so June 20th, it is game on. I mean, 100%. I mean, it's like, it's gotta give it. It's like if I could give it more than 100%, but theoretically, I mean, like they always say, like, oh, you give it 110% or 120%. But it's like I like to kind of refer to things in absolutes. So just basically giving it everything I've got, and basically, if I have to go in on a weekend, I go in on a weekend. If there's a couple periods where I have to go in 7 days a week, I go in 7 days a week. And yeah, I'm going to opt to go into the office, because if you're doing it remotely, the problem is if you're doing an internship remotely, there is that risk that you're kind of like out of sight, out of mind, and you don't want to be that. Plus, I think going in person is a good way to kind of demonstrate your motivation. So here's a little bit of advice for you guys out there who may be college students and are about to do an internship. My advice is you want to be motivated right off the start, and you want to just, be respectful in emails, be thankful, like, show appreciation, show that you're excited and thankful, and just kind of get off on a good foot. And then if they give you the option to go remotely or to the office, I would definitely go to the office. And then just make sure that another thing too is you want to know about the company. You want to know their mission statement. You want to know what their product is, what kind of customer base they're serving. You really want to get to know the product, because that's another thing. The more you know about their product, you're going to be able to know, better be able to do your job. So that's another thing I'm doing is I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos on the company's product, what they're all about, and it's pretty cool. It's really exciting. And another thing too is, and it's when you're there, you really want to make sure you get your work done, and then show motivation. Show that like you're willing to learn new things, that you're willing to take an initiative. That's a big thing, is initiative, attitude. So that's pretty much my advice to you guys out there about to do an internship, and they're giving you the chance to do it remotely, is just go to the office and take initiative, be motivated, be ambitious. And another thing too is you don't want to be like the person that's always like talk. I mean, you want to get your work done. You want to be getting your work done, but you don't want to be like that person just kind of like always off by himself. So it is a balance. It's going to teach me a lot about myself. I think I'm going to be learning a lot of things about myself. Oh, because once I do get a full-time job, oh, that's like completely different. Then that's going to put me a lot, in a much more ease, less anxiety, because then at that point, let's say, things happen, I'll be able to better treat myself. Oh yeah. So aside from that, well, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, but yeah, I am putting the past 10 years behind me, and when I came up here in 2012, I was putting the years of Pensacola behind me, and of course living back east. But now this is it. This is big. I am putting the past 20 years behind me. The loneliest years from the days of Pensacola and the days of Bellingham, those are behind me. No mas. Pretty much reinventing myself. This internship is going to be my chance to prove myself and to reinvent myself. So enough of me about you. Just take some of my advice. Some more advice for you guys out there is take into consideration where you're at in life, your age, what your status is, and just kind of try to find an area where you're going to be able to better mix in. I mean, it's tempting to want to be like, because Bellingham's a great city. You got so many outdoor activities, places to eat. I mean, you got kayaking, skiing, water skiing, hiking, mountain biking, rock climbing, canoeing. You've just got so many things to do. But if you're really looking for that human connection, it depends on what you really want in life. And if you're looking for that human connection, then you're going to have to really take a lot of things into consideration. And some of that may be having to kind of figure out the demographics of the area you're going to. So that's a big thing. Another thing too is if you are feeling really super down, I recommend that you try to find yourself some distractions or some challenges. And so I'm going to make a longer video on this, and it's going to be overcoming fear of heights. But I figure I fear loneliness and I fear heights. But can you fear both at the same time? Now here's the thing. I am showing you this because this is pretty intense. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the phone down. I can't really set the phone down, but I am going to peek over the edge, and I am going to look down for at least 15 seconds. 1,000. Well, I don't know if I'm going to count, but looking down. Oh yeah, and see, now I'm not thinking about loneliness because I'm making sure I don't lose my step. Woo! Oh, see, now I'm just thinking about, just kind of getting my heart up. All right, let's do another session. Whoa, look at that. See, and yes, I do have a fear of heights. Oh, that's intense. Can't be thinking about loneliness now. Oh, woo! So, right there, what that teaches you to do is it teaches you to be in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you're not worried about depression, anxiety. So I'm going to make a much more detailed video on that, and I'll come back down here and I'll have the camera on my head to kind of give you guys a little idea of what it's like. And of course, when you're looking at stuff like this, you're just making sure you're worried about your footing. You don't want to have a misstep and go over the ledge here, because that would be really bad. So right now, it's focusing on the views and focusing on the heights and kind of just learning to deal with a little bit of vertigo. Oh yeah. So that's a good way to kind of distract yourself from those deeper, darker thoughts. It's called giving yourself a challenge or giving yourself that distraction. So hopefully guys, I gave some decent advice in this video. Didn't want to make it sound like it was all about myself, because I'm a little cautious on that now. I'll try to, when I make my videos, I like to try to give some advice too at the same time, kind of like project, that I'm also trying to help other people out there who may be in similar situations. So yeah, so number one, if you're going for an internship, do it in person. Go to the office. Initiative, ambition, motivation. If you're looking for a place to live, consider where you're at in life. Demographics, what you like to do, but really demographics are pretty important. And then of course, number three, find yourself some challenges. Find ways to put you in the moment, like I just showed you here. And yep, being in the moment kind of teaches you to not look at the past, because that makes you think of depression. Worrying about too much about the future causes anxiety. Just be in the present. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's just do one more peek. Just kind of see if I can get myself a little bit more vertical. Ooh, all the way. Oh, and then look up slow. Whoa, being in the moment. And I'm gonna talk about being in a moment. I am embarking on a serious spiritual journey. So before this gets too long, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I got to be sharing with you guys, but being in the moment is one of the best things you can do. So with that, thank you all for watching. I'll be back at you guys soon enough. Take care, everyone. Peace out.